So much water in your room. Worry. Hello, hello. Hey,
You seem
Norma.
like you're cold, Joe.
Freezing. Oh my gosh.
Hi. I
And my
guess.
office does not get good airflow, and when I have to shut the door, it's separate from the rest of the house. So I'm cold. It's a whopping 26 degrees here today. So
Oh, wow. Like 75 here.
Saturday,
Oh,
I'm
my.
flying into a warm desert climate. I will be.
I welcoming cold. I'm so excited last week when we had a little bit of cool weather.
No. Hey, Deb, I have your client's HTMA today. We can look at. I have our new guidebook, which I am so excited to share with all of you.
I also don't know anything about the person. She
Okay.
has not scheduled her initial session. She's just signed up. Um,
hmm
she's been a little slow on the uptake, but I mean,
Yeah.
she did send in the HTMA, but I don't know anything about her yet.
Okay. Well, I am giddy about this new fillable form. So,
Yes, that sounds pretty exciting.
and I was kind of going through figuring out what other classes and things. I know I've been trying to plan ahead here a bit. And we have some little things here and there. We're going to go over this HTMA today. Any other questions, things you guys want to chat about? Cheryl, Kristen, and Norma are all in incognito mode here.
Jill, I've got a um, quick question.
Yeah.
My cousin, my cousin is like what, 77, very vibrant and with it, but they've just diagnosed her with Lewy body dementia. And she said, I think I am getting forgetful. Is there anything from our realm that could possibly help her? Or
Um, yeah. Have you, Dale Bredsman? Bred,
We're reading his book right now, The Ageless Brain.
yeah.
what,
Well,
what's
he
his
has
name?
another one on Alzheimer's, the end of Alzheimer's. Dale Brednizen. Let me see if I can pull it up. Um, da-da-da. He has a bunch of different things. Let me pull up.
Oh, thank you guys.
You're at Costco, Cheryl. We have a Costco in Rochester. We don't have one.
I love Costco.
I know. I've been to a few. We usually go when we're visiting my in-laws.
I've heard that's a great place to get a decent hearing aid that's very,
Really?
very, very good and only like 1500. An MD and a homeopathic group I'm in got it, and you can turn down the background noise. Just very, very impressed. Oh, thank you.
I know Lewy body dementia, as far as a diagnosis, is a little bit different, but um, he has his whole shtick is reversing Alzheimer's and brain health. And they have talked about it as being um, the other, what is it, like the fourth type 4
Type
diabetes?
3.
Type
Type
3.
3. Hmm.
Um,
Before what did you say?
Type 3 diabetes.
yeah.
Okay. Tape three.
So he has a whole protocol. He's got a book. Um, I don't know how at 77. I know for my dad at 81, it's very difficult to get him to move the needle on a lot of his things. And as far as he's concerned, he's changed his diet a lot and he makes good choices. And you guys know what choices he makes. So
That's awesome. Which book would be the one to start with that he talk about the protocol?
I think they do it in the well, they have this one, which is the actual program, but the end of Alzheimer's talks about like all the different ways,
Okay.
you
Yeah,
know,
I'm reading The Ageless Brain right now.
that's his newest one.
Yeah, that's what we're reading right now.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you guys so much.
But that's where I would start.
Okay.
I think it does talk about like all the different things that you can do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's terrible
Fantastic.
place to be.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. All righty. Yeah, I don't like eating on camera either, Norma. I have another call that they always want you on camera to, have a community feel. And I'm like, yeah, but nobody wants to be in a community with me while I'm chewing and eating. So that doesn't never a good.
What is that? Because I don't like when I'm eating in the car and I
Mhm.
come to a stoplight, I really don't like taking a bite in front of whoever's in another car and they don't know me from Adam. What's that all about?
Why are you eating in your car, Kristen?
Ah, sometimes, not often, but
I
sometimes.
know. I know.
I always wonder, why do I care? Yeah.
Yeah, could be worse, right? Could be worse. All right, let me find. I've lost my window now. All right, so a couple things before. Let me share this one. All right, so you should. Is it going to let me? What's it showing you now? Because I moved. So you should be seeing the new fillable HTMA guidebook. Yes?
Yes.
All right. So same instructions, except for step 3, there's a data entry tab now. So here is our data entry tab. Everything is pretty and color coded for you. You could type in your client name here, the test dates. It will do up to 3 tests. So apologize for any of the I've caught a couple typing errors, which hopefully I will get them all changed in the book. But this is why I need other eyes on it, because I looked at this like 6 ways from Sunday and then still found things that were wrong. So get it, play with it, check it out, make sure that things are all working and all the formulas are in like they should. But basically, here's Deb's clients. And literally you just put it in. You have to hand select the drop down for what metabolic type they are. We are going to get that copied onto this one so that it will autofill onto this page, and then it will highlight what metabolic type down here with a click. But that's not done yet. It is coming. But you can see as we go through, this is the only place you're going to have to enter numbers. So once your numbers are entered, then all the way through, your ratios will automatically be color coded. So this one's red. You can go right over here.
Shut your
Hmm?
shut your mouth.
Isn't it lovely? And they will all autofill, so you'll be able to kind of see historically where they've been. So these all autofill for you. The patterns also. Well, this is test 1. Autofill. So if there is no data, it's going to assume zeros and it's going to autofill part of this. So make sure that you have selected the test that it is, because here 2s are blank. So it's automatically going to assume some things. So test 2 is not on the data entry form. There is no test 2. So when you go to the patterns, if you don't have the one selected, it's going to show you just information. Don't believe it. So this autofills is going to tell you and tabulate what's going on here. I don't know why that one says that. That should say advanced there. So I don't know why that doesn't say advanced, but it should say advanced. And then it's going to automatically tell you what pattern they're in. If they are in one of these patterns, it'll show up here. And then if you click in this box, I messed some stuff up. It'll click you down to what the different patterns are down here.
Yeah.
All like the information on what they are. But this tallies everything up for you. It also tallies the excretor status for you. And then it tallies the minerals for you, and it will tell you, oh, that's why this has to be 1. Automatically shows you where they are on this one too. And highlights which one matches. So, pretty excited. So, let's see. This client, which Deb doesn't have a lot of information on her, is a slow one. They are, hang on, let me find the actual, there it is. Obviously you guys can put whatever information wherever you want on these. It doesn't have like an age or whatever, but this is a 68-year-old female. Deb, do you have any information on what her main complaint? Why did she sign up with you? Anything?
Yeah, I have her discovery call question. So here you go. You Shay. So let me just pull her up here and I'll give you that information. That's the only information I have for her.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, she's been a little slow on the uptake. On getting everything done, but she's slowly getting it done. So let's see.
It's her main complaint, so we don't need a full.
Yeah, I don't even. Good Lord, hold on.
Joe, is this new form? And I came on late. I'm sorry. I had some other
husband
complications.
Made a fillable form for us.
Oh, okay, great. So where is that on the Telegraph then that we can download a copy of?
We'll be sharing the copy with you guys today.
Okay, perfect.
This is the data entry.
Wow.
On the first one, you can put in up to 3 tests of HTMA for the client.
Okay.
And then it will automatically, this one will have the autofill. He wasn't sure what to do with all these boxes and didn't know that I had this stuff down here. Because we had tried to have it like auto populate instead of having all these, like to have them hidden somewhere off screen and then have it just auto populate, like, pull the slow one up, but he couldn't do it with an image. But hopefully we'll have it so it pops up. So like for this person who's a slow one, it talks about what's going on, that they're parasympathetic dominant, thyroid gland activity is slow, parathyroid is fast, adrenal activity is decreased, stomach acid is usually insufficient, pancreatic activity has decreased enzyme production, body shape, like all the things that go with a slow metabolism.
I have her pulled up.
Okay. What
All
do
right, so she's 68.
you? Mhm.
She weighs 200 pounds and she has diabetes. She's worked with a general practitioner, 2 cardiologists, and a pulmonologist, treating symptoms with drugs.
Okay.
She says, I get a blood test at least once a year. She has not reached her health goals because she says herself, I am a frustration eater and my husband is an enabler. He is thin.
Okay.
What motivates her? Desire to feel better and fear of death. And she said she has a few friends that will help her. And she actually came to my longevity talk that I gave to the Rotary. And she said, I'm listening to you last Thursday. I felt that you gave me hope. I am one that needs someone to be specific about what I need to do. By following up with you, I am being held accountable. I want to get to the root cause of my health issues and eliminate them or at least greatly reduce them. I feel you have the knowledge and the skill sets to help me make a difference in my life. And I know I have to do the work and I know it is time. She is a former engineer, so getting to the root cause of my issues will motivate me. So diabetes and her weight are the main things that she complained about.
Okay.
And then if I look at her notes, let me see if she filled out the MSQ. She has not filled out the MSQ form yet.
Okay.
But let me see the notes that I sent her on her discovery call.
She's
Make
on.
it, say it again.
That she said she's been treated with meds, so I'm sure she's on some medications.
Yeah. So let's see. Let me see what else she told me in our discovery call. She also has asthma and heart concerns. She has ongoing effects from pneumonia and COVID. She feels stuck and unsure how to regain traction. She has fatigue, brain fog, and emotional weight from long road of symptoms. Let's see.
To-
That's everything that I have written down for her so far.
All right. All right. Well, she's a slow one. As far as her ratios go, her autonomic state is 3.23, which is parasympathetic dominance, state of exhaustion. Probably has a bunch of these symptoms, although we haven't talked to her yet. Her vitality to stress ratio, that life-death ratio, is very low. Hang on one second. My dad is calling and he knows he shouldn't be, so let me make sure it's not anything important. One second. Okay, no biggie. Alrighty. So the vitality stress ratio is low. And if you look at this says potassium may be lost from the cell if low enough, her potassium was undetectable. She had a nice little double caret there.
I remember y'all talking about that with Lee's
Mm-hmm.
first HTMA, right?
Right. But my at the time my vitality stress was not necessarily low,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting now because my potassium has come up. At least it's detectable now.
Yay!
And but my vitality stress went down. Yeah.
Well, it's hard, especially when there's like zeros right? I mean, it puts it at a 1, but when you don't have potassium, your potassium, how is this working, right? When the sodium potassium pump doesn't have, you don't even have detectable potassium. So what is going on? The thyroid ratio is 42, so 10 times what we want it to be. So it's definitely very high. I'm thinking with everything going on here, because you can look at the, sorry. If you take a glance at this HTMA, which I don't have it, but let me see if I can. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 carrots on the first page. So 10 things that came up undetectable on this test. So when we get to the excretor status, you're going to see there's very poor excretion on here. So deficiency, I think, is the name of the game here. She's got zinc that's popped up a little bit high, and magnesium looks like it's in the reference range, but you know, when you're dealing with so many things that are off or not detectable, you've got to wonder like what is showing up and how that's affecting things. Her zinc to copper ratio is definitely off. It'd be really interesting to see what she is like taking as far as medications and things.
You wonder if she had bad COVID that somebody told her to take zinc. You're taking massive quantities of zinc,
I mean, it's possible, right? But I mean, at the same time, you know, I'm really looking at, you know, the other ratios and the amount of things that are not detected. Cobalt is the other one that is absolutely not detected. So what is her digestive system doing? You know, what are her cells actually absorbing? That cell membrane integrity has got to be supported.
Can
So
you tell me with cobalt? I'm not really familiar with what it does. What does it do in digestion? I feel like I should know this, but
it's you get cobalt from like methylcobalamin has cobalt, right? So
okay.
12, it's a factor in B12, and when this is super low, um, I start wondering about stomach acid and vitamin B12 status, you know.
Mhm.
So that's kind of the linkage there that when I see this, I think digestion because I think what is the stomach acid looking like? What is the intrinsic factor looking like? And if it's low here, are you absorbing anything?
Right. That makes sense.
You know,
Thanks.
so you have the, you know, the double, you know, and then you need sodium chloride, right? And that's also low. So, I mean, what kind of stomach acid is this person making? I keep forgetting you guys can't see this. I didn't put in any images of the actual test. Um, Let me stop share for a second and ignore the fact that there's still a name on it. So this is what the test looks like. Right? Just a lot of lows, little hill. When you look at the patterns, if you have to also visually look at an HTMA and say it might not be an official hill pattern or official this pattern, but when I look at this, it's like you can kind of see a little bit of a hill pattern, right?
It's like rolling hills to me.
So you always have to also do a visual on these. No, just like the Weatherby book, right? You could throw numbers in and you spit them out, and it may or may not always jive, right? And right now we know nothing other than a discovery call about this person. So we're going to get what we get, but until Deb actually talks to this person and has that intake and has all the information about this client, we're just kind of guessing, right? We're throwing some stuff in here.
So what would a rolling hill indicate? Does it matter where it rolls or which way it rolls?
We'll look at the pattern so you can see it. Oh, Cheryl's back. There we go. Sorry, Cheryl. We'll look at it on the when we get to the patterns, but I just wanted you to have a visual on the actual HTMA before I went any further on the
I
guidebook.
mean, is there something that jumps to mind when you see a rolling pattern? Or does it depend on like which minerals it's rolling high and low on?
Well, it depends what is going on with it. A hill pattern sometimes can be a positive life change going on, turning a corner, an ending of a negative pattern of movement or living. It's kind of like, okay, we're going, right? We're getting going. So she may even, you may find out that she still is, even with all of her health challenges and everything, that she does have more of a positive outlook on life. That she is, that she is moving forward. The fact that she's hiring you, the fact that she's come to this longevity thing, right, might be her getting ready to really make some positive changes. So we won't know until you talk to her. But that's a hill is usually that's the um kind of thing that I think about when I see a
Okay.
hill.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
Okay. But like I said, it's there isn't an actual when you look at the different patterns, a hill pattern would have a calcium magnesium ratio that's less than 5. Hers is not, and a sodium potassium ratio that's greater than 6, and hers is not. But it's hard to know with the zeros in here, right? Like if that would really, if it would pan out or not. I mean, at this point, I think we're more in a 4 lows pattern or a 3 lows pattern. So any of the other patterns aren't really going to show up until you fix the 4 lows or the 3 lows pattern. But that's what, but I just wanted to show you like all the carrots and the overabundance of just.
Yeah, that was the one thing that jumped out at me, which I was pretty excited about. I'm like, oh, I know what carrots mean. Small wins, small wins.
Small wins. All right, let me share this screen, the guidebook again. I think that's the right one. All right.
Because before we started this, I would have just looked at that and said, oh, that's interesting.
Right. All right, so we're at the ratio. So really, really high thyroid ratio, which is opposite, right? So high thyroid means slow thyroid function. There's definitely, all the different things that it could be, but until we really know. And low potassium affects the thyroid hormone usage in the cell membrane. So the fact that there is no discernible potassium on the test is going to make this slow.
So when you don't have potassium, it impacts your calcium potassium, I guess, ratio. And so that's the reason why, obviously. Okay. All right. Sorry. I had to think that through.
Are y'all talking and I just can't hear you?
I was just,
It was
No, I
silent.
can't hear Joe.
It was
It
all
was,
silent.
yeah, it was silent on my side too.
Okay.
All right, can you hear me now?
Oh, there
Yes.
you okay.
My my microphone just went out for some reason. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so the zinc to copper ratio, where was I when I stopped?
Well, you were moving a whole bunch of stuff. I saw the mouse moving, but I couldn't
Okay.
hear anything. So we
Okay.
talked about the thyroid ratio, and that's the
Okay.
last I.
Last you heard me? Okay, so the zinc to copper hormone ratio is very high. If it's above a 16 with a slow, you're looking at that it's not available, that there's a severe deficiency, probably not a toxicity, but you're going to have to, check that with other labs and other symptoms and see what's going on there. But there's definitely something happening.
So let me ask you a question because I had this in another person, but we hadn't done a lot of work yet. Instead of getting other labs, I mean, would we just recommend that we get some stuff going with the minerals piece of it, and then when we do a retest, if that's still showing up, then maybe go look at another labs.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look at the first four, right?
Right.
First. So keep this in mind that that there is, if she's taking massive quantities of zinc without any copper to balance it, then that's an easy
Just stop it.
right? Just
Yeah.
stop. Yeah. Or, add in something that has that copper in it. And check all the different, check the different things, but check her anything that might be driving this unavailable copper, but it's probably inflammation, diet, and maybe she is taking tons of zinc because because everybody heard that, right? Immune system needs zinc. But yeah, I mean, you're going to deal with the first four minerals first and making sure she has potassium and see what else then starts moving. Adrenals are super low. So here's another, the poor protein and meat digestion. There could be low ceruloplasmin. I doubt there's hidden copper. It's probably just the rest. And then her glucose ratio is 7.5. Why did that not color in? I don't know. That should have colored in. Actually, it's not because it's in the middle.
I was
It's
going to say
not colored in because it's in the middle. Because it's not less than 7 and it's not over 8.5. So her glucose ratio right now is right in the middle. So,
It may be that her meds are controlling some of that.
yeah, it very could be.
Yeah, and I don't know which meds she's on. I don't have a list of meds, so.
Infection ratio is low, so it's associated with more viral infections, low thyroid function, and then the elevation in copper causes a low ratio. And we're missing something there. To fix that. See if I insert a row. Nope, that didn't work.
Can you double click on it?
Yeah. So once again, though, it's not going to be your primary thing that you're doing right now because you want to work on the first 3 minerals. So these are the patterns.
My
So
next question is, do we go over all of this with the patient? Are we just going to say, hey, what we're looking at right now is we got to work on these first 4 and all these carrots?
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. You know, well, you can put it in that pretty form that I sent you last time, right? Where it just kind of explains what's going on.
Where do we get that?
Should be loaded for you, but let me double check.
Loaded as
A
in
Canva
Hardback?
share. Yeah. But let me double check if that got loaded.
I haven't went and looked for it.
So if we don't have Canva, well, I have Canva, but I don't have the Pro yet. I'm still trying to, can I share it with just Canva?
I believe you can. And you from Canva you can download it.
Okay.
Once you I mean, I am pretty sure that you can.
Yeah.
You'll have to be my guinea pig, Lee.
All right. I'll try it. I'll let you know.
You should be able to get like the free version of Canva. You may not have all the fonts and all the fanciness, but I believe you can copy a template and use it. And then you should be able to change the fonts and the colors and all the information to match your business instead of mine.
Right. Okay. That sounds good.
So if we're on the website,
I have to check and see if it got loaded. And I may have done it.
so is it
have
going
done
to be
it in
under the
group.
basics or the advanced?
I don't know. It might be underneath the call for the day. I have to see what. That's not my job. It's my VA's job. So I have to see where it ended up. But I will check on that Canva template for you and make sure that you guys have it. I know that the video is there under the full call recording.
So the client HTMA guidebook that's under HTMA basics, is that the old one or the new one?
I think that's the old one.
Okay.
But I will find it. So on here, it's going to tell you that your client's in a 4 lows, right? They've got 4 out of 4 that are low. Obviously, they're not a 3 or 4 high. They have 3 burnout things here. So that is going to be that should come up here that it's an advanced stage of burnout. As far as sympathetic or parasympathetic, you've got only 1 yes on the sympathetic, and you've got 3 yeses on the parasympathetic. So most of the time they are in parasympathetic mode. It's going to tell you that here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 7 iodine deficiency markers. 3 markers of chronic infection. All the different copper toxicity clues are here. You have to manually input whether they have any possible copper exposures and if their symptoms correlate. These are the symptoms down here. Some of the symptoms. And then these are just the old boxes that have just the description. So if they did come up with one of the patterns, right? Their slow oxidator, this is their calcium to magnesium ratio, this is their sodium to potassium ratio. They're false for all the other patterns, but like I said, when we looked at it, there was a slight hill there that you could like visibly see. That may change when the first 4 minerals become sufficient, right? She may switch into a different pattern.
So based on what it says right there, she does not have any definite pattern.
Correct.
Okay.
But
Even though
a
Lee
lot of
says that
these
she may have a
patterns,
hill.
yeah, a lot of these patterns are visual, not necessarily quantitative.
But
So
what
putting the
they're
numbers
figuring out there is quantitative, but what you're saying
right.
is visually is what we see those patterns usually.
Right. Yeah. So these, you are going to see a step up. You're going to see it go up. You're going to see it go down. You're going to see the bowl, in the first 4 patterns where calcium is going to be high and calcium and potassium are high and the other 2 are lower, right? So, I mean, it gives you patterns I was trying to explain it to my husband who knows absolutely nothing about this. He goes, I don't understand. And I'm like, well, because when you make a bowl, this ratio is going to be high and this ratio is going to be low. And when you make a hill, it's going to be the opposite. And this one's going to be right. So, I mean, there are some parameters for the ratios that create those patterns, but it's not, it's more of a visual pattern than this, the numbers that are down here, right? Because these all have, you know, you need these ratios for a hill, you need these ratios for a bowl, you need these ratios for a double high and these ratios for a double low. And sometimes you'll see them and sometimes you won't.
Do you, when you have a second test, because I have a second test, so if I go to my second test and you said we look at a second test very differently, so is it just going to give me a second test with the same information? And I'm
In
just going to
here,
look,
yeah, you still
okay,
need, I mean, there's only so much that we can do with formulas
right.
and colors. This will bring up like first, second, third test, so you can flop back and forth between them.
Okay. So
Um,
they're not going to be side by side that you can
they
look at.
won't be side by side
Okay.
on this one, no. Same thing here. This one will give you the 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so that one will be kind of
Right.
side by
And they'll
side.
color code, so it might be red, red, yellow, or red, yellow, you know, however it goes. And if you don't have second or third tests in here, it's still going to pop up things, but it's not going to be right. Because it's just going to assume it's a 4 low because you've got zeros here. And then everything else fills in based on,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what goes there. So you have to know that that's not, that doesn't work. I asked my husband to fix it and he said every single formula is going to have to be rewritten to make that not show up like that. And that's like starting from scratch, which so it probably will not happen. So just be aware when you select the test number, if there are no numbers in it, this is going to be wrong. So make sure that you've got the number test here that you want to look at. Let's see. And then we kind of put these together. So the 3 or 4 highs are here. All right, Norma, we'll see ya. Have a good one. Hopping off. So like burnout, sympathetic, and parasympathetic kind of go together, so they're color-coded blue. Because those are more stress-related patterns. These are just deficiency, toxicity, and chronic infections. They're just a hodgepodge. We did those all purple. And then, like I said, this one pops down here. I was messing with stuff to try and get something else to happen, and I think I may have messed up a couple of his things. So we'll go back in and finish that. Because I don't know why these aren't coming up. Excretor status. Same thing. You have to switch to your whatever test you're looking at here. They're just going to pop up red if they're poor or very poor, so you can really quick get a visual of whether they're, you know, detoxification, elimination, excretor status. And this person obviously is not doing very much of it because they're in a 4 lows pattern. So, you know, anyone in a 4 lows pattern, I would expect to see a lot of red on the chart. And then this is the other method over here for the poor eliminator pattern. They've got 2 extremely lows here, and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this one here. So. And then the minerals. Obviously, in the 4 lows, you're looking at the alarm stage of stress. She's in fight or flight. With the calcium, she could be irritable, uptight, nervous, unable to slow down. Magnesium. Sodium is very low and potassium is non-existent. So any of these patterns you can look at and see if there's correlation to the symptoms and things that she has going on.
It
Yeah,
looks
I
like-
can't find the guidebook.
Okay. The client one,
The client one.
the client Canva template. Yep. I'll make sure it gets in there.
It looks great. I mean, I can tell that somebody's put a lot of work into this, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, my husband got paid the same. I told him I was paying him the same as my VA, so I owe him about $45. He worked on it most of Black Friday, so he had the day off. I was like, "Hey, would you want to throw?" He goes, "Oh, that'll be easy." And then he got into it and got into it, and then of course, once he's into it, he wouldn't let it go. And then he was working on it the last 2 days of work. I even called him this morning and said, "Hey, could we figure out how to do this?" And I got one yes and one no. So, and then all of the other information is just here on like the 4 lows and the 4 highs, and all this stuff is still here, but in a different place. So the information's not gone, it's just moved. So please, 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 I will share this link to the new fillable HTMA. I will try and fix a couple of the things that I may have broken, and please use it and play with it and test it out and see. I do have one open. Let me see. Let me stop share because I do have one open with 3 test values. Let me see which tab it's on.
Did you just put that info in, or did you actually have somebody that had 3 tests?
I had someone that had 3 tests.
Oh, awesome.
Hmm. I don't know where I have it though. All right, I think this one is it. Yep. All right, sharing. I'm just gonna do desktop one. All right, so this is test client, and this has 3 tests. So you can see like all the boxes are filled. This one, obviously, we're working on getting that, but it's going to have all 3 ratios. So this person's stuck in sympathetic dominance, stuck with a low ratio here. So you can just see like where things have shifted. And it's very easy to then just look at the ratios there and
So
there.
she's basically improving, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and things don't move like super fast. So
I was going to say, how far apart were these tests, do you know?
yeah, the dates are in the data entry. So March out, these were the last 2 are a year apart.
Okay.
So March, October, and then October. Patterns, you have to go through each one. So went from 3 lows to 3 lows to only 2. So, but you can look at all of them.
How did you see that? You said went from 3 lows to
Right
only
here.
4. Oh, because you changed it from
Yeah.
1 to 2 to 3 and saw it.
Yeah.
I see.
So this is the first.
Got it.
Yep. The second and the third.
Got it.
And then as the different patterns emerge, you can see them going from, through the different patterns. And
So it took her at least a year, if not a year and a half, to make that, to go from that 3 to 2
Mhm.
lows.
Yep. And then excretor status, still. So things are going to switch as the body works through things. But just a really easy way then to look at all the different test results and get the patterns and everything super easy without having to fill things in 16 ways and go back and forth. It literally takes 2 minutes now to fill out your guidebook.
That's great.
As fast as you can type in those numbers.
I wonder if we can get Chat GPT to do it.
I wish. It really, I mean, I've done 4 or 5 now because I keep pulling out different clients and sticking it in to test things. And it works. It's been working really well. So
I wonder if you, and I don't know if it works like this, but I wonder if you could do a Loom video and show it on the Loom video, like have the test up and say, here's where you get this, and it goes here. And like you go back and forth if Chat GPT would be smart enough to be able to take that video and then I don't know. I'm all about like how to make my life easier, right?
Have you ever tried, putting it into Canva AI?
I
No,
haven't.
this was like lightning above where we were a week
yeah.
ago. So I was pretty excited for this. I've been playing around with it and having fun. So let me get you a link to this, Deb. So you don't have to refill it in, and I'll stick it in the chat for you.
Okie dokie.
So there's you can rename it. It doesn't have to be Deb Client PD. I was like, and I will get everybody this new fillable one. Make sure that shareable link is in there. Like I said,
So
there were a couple.
if we take the document you gave, you put up here,
Mm-hmm.
what is that what we would put into Canva?
No, this is an Excel Google sheet.
Oh, okay.
Either Excel. My husband built it in Excel, so every time I'm in Google Sheets trying to play around with it and make it do things, he's like, I have to fix it in Excel and then give it to you. And I'm like, fine. So he's obviously at work today and was not able to do that. But I will probably get an email with him at some point because, when he's just sitting there staring at a screen waiting for the next fire to put out, he works on my stuff. So. All right, what was I going to pull up for you? I was going to see about that Canva. Let's see. All right, so this is the template, yeah, and I'm pretty sure I had a template link for you guys. Copy. All right, I'm gonna put it in to the chat so anybody here today can grab it. So Lee, I don't know how much of that you're going to be able to actually edit with your free version, but check it out. And then I will make sure that it ends up in our Kartra page correctly, which I thought I had opened somewhere today. I have too many windows open. Yeah, I don't know if I have it open anymore. I'll find out when I go in to try and edit it, and it says you are working in another another window, because that's what generally happens. But without knowing your client, Deb, my first thoughts are you're going to be working on her digestion and getting her hydrated and getting her digestion back online, and then, tweaking her electrolyte intake, and then seeing where, taking care of that low-hanging fruit first. And definitely when you have your intake with her and have more information, if you want to go back and revisit it, let me know.
Okay, thank you. I'm not sure how fast we're gonna move. She's been a little slow, but we'll take slow as long as we.
Well, it is also the holidays too, so you can always send her a message and go, "Hey, got your test results back." Can't go over
Yeah,
them
we did
until I
that.
get the rest of your paperwork. So
Yeah, we did that this week, so hopefully that'll work.
right. Lee, it said you were talking, but I didn't hear you.
I sneezed. I thought it
Oh,
was
you
up to me.
sneezed.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Well, I didn't have a ton else to go over today. I really wanted to share that template with you guys. So is there something else you guys want to go over? Any questions?
Thanks for all you do, Jill.
Oh, you're welcome. I want you guys to get I wanted you guys to get your hands on it, and I wanted you to start playing around with it. So if there are any, like those couple glitches where it just said name question mark that I know I need to fix, hopefully it was a different glitch and I didn't really break my husband's template already.
Can I just ask a quick question, something different? I wanted to invest in the Principles of Anatomy and Physiology book that Tracy has recommended in the immune course. Has anybody got that particular book for physiology?
No, I don't know what.
Is
Do
it
you
the
have
one
a
by
link
the
for it?
Point Institute or something like that? Something Point Institute?
It's from Jared J. Totora and somebody else. It's quite expensive. That's why I wanted to ask whether anybody has it.
I have it, Sonia. I bought it. It was recommended that we buy it when I started the program.
Oh, okay.
And in transparency, I've not used it.
The Principles of Anatomy and Physiology by Gerard Tortora and Brian Derrickson.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yes, that's right. Because I don't have anything for physiology really in terms of looking things up, and I thought of investing in it in that one.
I think it's very thorough. I mean, as a general rule, I do like the books that Tracy recommends. I'm finding that I tend to be more of a visual learner these days, so I'm going more towards YouTube to get videos that are helpful.
Mhm.
I think it's a good book,
Yeah.
but I haven't used it really.
Okay. Okay.
But if
Cindy,
that's what, you're, if you're looking for a book, I think it's a good one.
I feel like I'm more of I want to know this, and I'm a search person, and I want to go find it that way versus in a book. I'm not sure. I could find what I wanted quickly.
Mm.
It's $39.99 for the 2014 paperback edition. If you didn't want to get the brand new one.
Uh, so I think I looked it up here via Amazon. It's like 56.
Yeah, that's not expensive for anatomy and physiology book. I TA'd anatomy and physiology, so I mean, I have like the books that I have from there, but I mean, I didn't buy a book. I do have somewhere, Kristen will probably remember, at some point, Jen had links to anatomy and physiology classes online. And I
Okay.
do have some of those saved,
Yeah.
put in a page to link for you guys, so you also have those links to do stuff online.
Yeah.
Joe, is that the guy? His name started with a Z, like Zach or something? He was very interesting.
I don't remember. It was like it was put together by somebody who was like doing a study page for like nursing school or something. So it was like at one point Jen had us, there was an anatomy and physiology class that we could literally take. I personally always like, oh gosh, hang on, let me think. I went to tell you what it was and now I don't remember. Khan Academy.
Yeah, that's often where I end up is Khan Academy.
Yeah. So Khan Academy is, let me share my screen and see if I can actually, so this is what I used to teach my kids, and a lot of times just to, to do it, you can log in. Let's just see. I'm a learner. Oh, I don't really want to do that. Where's their science? So here's their science. Um, and you can actually do like high school biology. And then they have, getting ready for, see all the science. Come on. There we go. It's got A&P, college biology, college chemistry, and then it's got organic chemistry, and then health and medicine. So introduction to body system, circulatory system. So you can literally go in here and see, um, and learn about the heart.
Oh, okay.
And it actually has videos.
I really like this picture that I found. It actually shows you really neatly where the heart sits in our body. So you can see the heart is surrounded on both sides by ribs, right? And in fact, I didn't draw it in yet, but let me show you where the lungs would be. So this is where the lungs, this is the right
So if
lung.
you're a visual
And
learner,
on this
it's
side, you have the
fantastic.
left lung.
Yeah.
This is where your heart sits between two lungs. And I'm saying left and right from the perspective of the person left lung.
And they
gets
really kind of
pushed
go through
back
like
into the
all
heart
of it.
and then gets squeezed through the aorta. So there's this actual extra little step here where blood is going.
It talks about the different things, the difference between arteries and veins. But I mean, like, so really does a good job of like running through the different body systems. There was one where it prepped you for the MCAT. So the test to become a doctor. And I actually at one point was like, let me take a practice MCAT and see how like could I pass an MCAT? I didn't do too bad. Obviously there was a bunch of stuff, but I mean like it goes through all the different the different systems and all of it. So you can do, the structure of the nervous system. I mean, it kind of gives you a good overview of everything. So Khan has always been my go-to just for like basic.
Amazing. Thank you so
science.
much.
And it's free. Sign up.
Brilliant.
And then you can just Google I mean, literally, once you're in, you can search for different things. So that's what I would do. And I will get those other videos because I'll find them. It's in one of my things. I
Thanks,
downloaded all
Joe.
the links. It's been like one of those, hey, at some point I'm going to link to all these things. Like there's a free version and then there was I don't know. Jen had them all and it was linked in the academy like that you could literally go through and take the entire anatomy and physiology course. I think it was really important, like if we're going to support the human body in her mind, that we all like really know what we're talking about. And we can the whole thing with the digestive system, right? That we did with all the classes. Like if you can't visualize what these things look like, you have ideas in your head that are incorrect. The stomach isn't a big shaker, right? It's not just this big, empty vessel that's waiting, with liquid in it that's waiting for food to get dropped into it. Things don't leave the esophagus and splash into the stomach because this is big open bowl or anything.
Joe,
So,
when I
yep.
was just out of nurse practitioner school, I was fortunate enough to be with for the first 2 years a doc who actually had taught in medical school down at UTMB Galveston. And he said, medicine is simple. Know the physiology and correct the physiology. And I thought, that's profound.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. This is what we do. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that we can get so lost and bogged down into the details and all the nitty gritty and all the little biochemistry. But at the end of the day, yes, we need to understand it and we need to have right thinking about it. But sometimes our clients don't need all that information, right? Like it's good for you to have it, to know like where to support them. And you're going to have clients that want to know, and you're going to have clients that don't care.
Mm-hmm. Keep it simple. Yeah, definitely.
Right. And I explain to clients like it's when you put stuff in the stomach, it doesn't just all plop in there and get shaken up together. Whatever enters the stomach first gets pushed and squeezed through to the end of the tube at the other end. And it happens slowly. So, this is why we take our supplements. This is why we take our enzymes and bile support first before we eat, because we want that to squish through the stomach and go into the small intestine before the rest of the food goes in there. And that's why you want your HCl piecemealed, taken in pieces in between the food, because you got to have a little bit with each little bit of food that you take. But yeah, it's, so in those instances, I think it's good for clients to understand some of it, but keep it simple. Not, you don't have to give them all the medical terminology for things.
I just think during studies, what I notice, or even if I support one of my clients, I noticed that there are gaps in the where can I look up things?
Yeah.
Also for my more complex cases or whatever the diagnoses are or the symptoms are, sometimes I don't find anything. And then I don't know where to look, and then I panic.
If you can't just Google it, sometimes like narrowing it down to like Google Scholar, which then puts you into a different realm of searching. And it's more scientific based research studies that you're searching, not just, every blog out there and every whatever. You're actually looking up through the scientific database of research.
I've just started with a client with uveitis, and I don't have, I have had a lot of clients with autoimmune conditions, but not with, particularly with uveitis. So I just wanted to look up somewhere where I have the feeling the source is trustworthy, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And I mean, I think there's got to be like some European version of like our WebMD or something.
Yeah, WebMD,
Have you
yes.
tried
You know, if you
PubMed?
yeah, like PubMed, we have PubMed.
Hmm.
Um,
Yep.
you know, Nature has a lot of things sometimes because they have like the scientific stuff. So what's the other one? Science something. Gosh. Um, I did a thing on research and shared a couple links in the in Kartra. I'd have to find it again. Where's my links? YouTube links. Here we go. Let me see if I can find it because I did do one on um and it was talking about maybe in learning how to learn, but it was talking about a couple of the different things that you could do um and sign up for to get information if you were researching a certain thing.
Hmm.
Um gosh, I don't know what it was though. I don't know which call it was because I don't know if it was actually, I don't think I have a call called research tips, but
Because of course in private practice, you will have more handle on
yeah,
who you are accepting onwards onto your programs. But on the government program, I get everything, and I get very, very complex.
yeah.
Um,
NCBI. So this is this is just this is on appendicitis, but let me share. Um, so this is the National Library of Medicine that we have.
yeah.
And so you can sometimes get stuff on there because they have a lot of very specific stuff that you can do. And there's also a way to get on a list where whenever something new on the specific topic comes up, then you get emailed with
Mhm.
the newest research that's out there. Um,
And is there anything in regards to conditions and functional medicine approaches?
you can always Google that in Google Scholar, but most of what you're going to find on the medicine sites are treatments and research leading towards, that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
You can look at the Institute for Functional Medicine, ifm.org, and
Mhm.
they're very, very I don't want to they're functional medicine, but they really do a lot with protocols and things, but they have
Yeah.
got some good information out there, I think that you can tap into.
Yeah.
You just have to you have to take it and then fit it into your own philosophies and your own approaches.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They are so many of them are physicians or medical practitioners that have
Right.
become functional medicine. And often what I see is that they're replacing function. They don't really get the whole
They're still
concept.
allopathic.
Right. They still want to treat everything with
Right.
a supplement or with with a
Mhm.
protocol versus
Mhm.
looking at that individual as a very
Right.
individual and looking at their whole picture and that they may be very different and the treatment very different than somebody else that has the same condition. So, but I have found, I mean, I remember they used to have something called Grand Rounds and Dale Bredesen. I remember when before he ever wrote his book and he gave his presentation and it was like, that was amazing to me. I was like, wow, this is new stuff. And it was
Yeah.
great. But, so they do have some interesting stuff on there. But you do kind of have to, you know, mold it to your own perspectives.
Yeah. I
Understood.
think, and it goes back to we want to find the answers for our clients, and we want like to be able to point them in the right direction. But health is, when you break it down, is pretty simple. It manifests in all sorts of crazy ways with all sorts of crazy labels, with all sorts of crazy things. And we're trying, and when you try the top down approach and you try and like solve this symptom and this label and this whatever, it becomes very complicated. But when you boil it down to the root of what's going on, right? Are they in stress and trauma, right? Is there some, psycho neuro something happening, with that stress and trauma piece? Is their nervous system in a place where it can heal, right? Are we balancing that? And do the cells have the integrity and energy production that they need?
Mhm.
And it all comes back down to that very basic: put the body in a healing environment, give it what it needs, and take away what's not working, right?
Yeah.
Most of that is breaking it down to what does each cell need, right? It needs to be able to have that cellular integrity, be hydrated, and have a good cell membrane. The mitochondria need to be working and getting the energy and creating the energy to make everything else function. And they have to be out of that stress trauma loop. That nervous system has to be happy in order to heal.
And this is where my crux is, because they all either have no job or are about to lose the job, and so we are in a toxic environment to start with, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
And
Thank you.
all the autoimmune stuff, really goes back to that gut stuff, right? Because if the gut isn't happy, the immune system isn't happy, and the body's dealing with a toxic overload.
Yeah.
It's in cell danger response. And for every person, based on their specific unique bioindividuality, the autoimmune condition is going to pop up someplace else.
Yeah. Okay.
So as much as, I want you to be able to get information on the specific thing, but don't lose sight of everybody needs hydration. Everybody needs the diet that's not inflaming them. Everybody needs to be able to digest and absorb nutrients in a gut that's, what's the word I want? Has integrity, right? That epithelial integrity.
Yeah.
And that mucosal lining needs to be supported, which goes back, and all the stuff. So it comes back to the same things over and over and over.
Sure. Good. Thank you so much. Thank you,
You're
everyone.
You're welcome, guys. Ah, anything else? Cheryl, are you still wandering around Costco? Is she even with us anymore? I don't even know if she's still here. Nope.
No, I think she left.
Yeah.
So we meet 2 more weeks, right?
Yes, I did change that calendar up. Hopefully you guys have it. We have Friday this week, and then I am gone next Wednesday. I'm back on Friday the 12th. And then we have the following week, we have 2 classes, and then we're off for the holidays. We'll see you in 2026. Crazy. I am
Yeah.
not ready for Christmas.
You're thinking, where did the year go?
Yeah, I know. Fast.
Another one flies by.
Yes, it does.
I'm
Yes.
always trying to catch it.
I know. I know. All right, guys.
Thanks, Jill.
If you
Thanks.
guys have
everybody.
other clients, cases, things you want to bring up, let me know. People keep asking me about next year and when I'm going to have calls and things. I'm going to keep on keeping on until I figure that out. This
Or
week,
you can't.
this week in Phoenix is going to be a lot of me actually being off the hamster wheel so I can actually think about what I want moving forward. and how I want next year to look. I just have not had a moment to think about it. And we were going to relaunch this whole thing for Black Friday, and that didn't happen. So I have to revamp my website. I'm going to give marching orders to my VA this week on what to do while I'm gone. And hopefully, when I come back and the new year hits, we'll hit the ground running. I don't want to take away options for people, but then at the same time, there's a whole bunch of people that aren't able to make the daytime calls. So I'm really seriously considering doing like one evening a week or something. I have to figure it out. So if you guys have any opinions or thoughts on that, let me know.
Well, if we're going to do nighttime calls, I'm probably just always going to have the recordings. Well, mainly because I just have a lot of things that are with groups and stuff that I do at night. So,
Yeah, I mean, I usually have theater things and stuff happening in the evening too, and obviously like family stuff, but if I did it, it would probably just be a open call, like Q&A call for people that aren't able to be on the other calls. So I can support them and make sure that, the other 20 people that can't make the daytime calls have time for me to support them. And still have the teachings be the times that we have it now. But just kind of be available one other time for people to hop on and present cases or get their questions answered one-on-one. So. And next year, start teaching the microbiome specialist stuff. Excited about that. So, alrighty, guys.
Thanks so much. Everybody have a
just
good,
So much.
couple of days. We'll see you Friday, right?
Friday. Yep.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, Joe.
Bye.